Hello, Karen here, Soul Symbols, Astrology and Tarot. Bit chilly here in the UK today. We've got the rain outside, so I'm cozied up in my cloak. Right, reading today. The message I kept getting over and over in my head over the last few days, and I've been thinking on it, contemplating, has been about those who see patterns. Okay, so those who see patterns within their own lives, it could be the patterns of other people, it could be within your environment, within nature, spiritual patterns, group patterns, societal patterns, but the pattern seer, the systemic pattern seer. Now, even if you're not a systemic pattern seer, hang on, because I think there are messages for us all in this. So I pulled some cards, some archetypal cards, and the first one I pulled, and I'm back to front here, I'm not on my usual software, but it is the Bardo, if you can read backwards. And the second one is the Eternal Child. So let's start with this Bardo. This Bardo is the liminal spaces, the in-between, the betwixt and between, the transition. And I find this really, really interesting because the astrology is talking about this initiation, about reset, about being kind of in between times, because you don't get reset and then you're all done. You have to integrate that reset. So we see the Bardo. I mean, if you look at the imagery, it looks a little bit worrying, doesn't it? But it's said it's the place where the soul passes after death, but it's also liminal space. Okay, it's a space we enter before we come, a space where we go when we depart, but it is a place where we can envision, where the liminal space creates potentiality. Okay, so there is a huge potential at the moment for us, because we're not completely reset into another way of being, another way of operating. There's so much going on. The energies at the moment are so heavy. I expect most people are noticing it. I know loads of people I've spoken to, they feel heavy, tired, lethargic. For us here in the Northern Hemisphere, it could be to do with the winter, the lack of sunlight, but I also think it's the cosmic energies and the energies that are coming off the world that are kind of suppressing us. So here in this Bardo, in this liminal space here, we can see our relationships through a cosmic lens. Okay, so something that's much bigger than us. So no matter what we're experiencing right now, we can see things with that cosmic lens here. And it's kind of a timeless lens, which is why it's so interesting that we've got this eternal child archetype. Again, the eternal child is that part of us that doesn't want to move away from the joy and the magic of being the child. You know, we got the father, the mother, and then we've got the eternal child. So it's that inner child in us. So I think Spirit is speaking to us to, this is the part of us who doesn't want to give up the magic. And the Bardo is that liminal space. Okay, so I'm going to have a look at this. I'm going to throw some cards and see what Spirit's wanting to say. I've got my muse deck here, because we need to muse over this. Okay, so Spirit, what are we saying about this liminal space? And I think it's about connecting with that joy in us and that sense of magic, because the energy and the transitions from one place to another and what's going on in the world, we need to seek that, not escape, but to connect with our eternal child, that inner child. It's a very magical part of us. Okay, let's have a look what Spirit's saying. And the bardo, as I say, it's a liminal space. It's a space of potential, of creation. Yeah, you see straight away, 3 of materials, okay? So the 3 of pentacles. So this is the card of celebration, of joy in and of itself. And it is about co-creation. And I think I said in one of my astrology videos, this I think is the real template. We've gone through the kind of tribalism of living in you know, in community, in cooperation for thousands of years, but then since probably the Victorian era, the end of the Victorian era, we had all the information about individuation that became top dog. Okay, and nothing wrong with that. We all need to individuate. In the West, we haven't got our rites of passage, okay, so it's even more important that we do this work on our individuation. But I think, as I was about to say, it is a mark that we are now moving back into that community. So the fact of finding who we are and finding that eternal child in us, to locate all those archetypes within us, within that liminal space, to see the potential of who we can be, but to bring that back and see that individuality in co-creation. And this really is my co-creation card. Okay, co-creation. Okay, so the next card, yeah, look, 8 of inspiration, messages. That's where the messages come, in that liminal space, in the bardo. They can be symbolic, and you'll probably find at the moment they will be. Mercury is in Pisces, and Mercury comes through as oracular, as with symbols in our dreams, in our inspiration. Okay, so, and you know, the wands, this is our wands, the inspiration. This again is about fast, speedy messages. So take your dream journal to bed, you know, or your voice note, and speak it in. You may get a lot of symbolic messages at the moment, and they are going to be really important because they're about you, but they're also about the bigger picture. So be open to novelty, to things that you're not used to hearing, things that come through in a way perhaps you aren't used to, right? Because they may come quick and speedily, those messages, but they may not be in the form that you're used to there. Yeah. See, the 6 of emotions, we have the 6 of cups. So we've got the materials, the pentacles, we got the wands, the fire, we got earth, fire and water here. Just need a bit of air for the mind. 6 of emotions. This is about nostalgia. This is about looking back. Nothing wrong with looking back. We need to look back. I'm talking about patterns. So it may be that you're seeing those reflections from the past, okay? That you're seeing your past and the patterns of your past and the things that maybe you need to let go, the things that you need to hold on to. We have the eternal child here, okay? So this is often about looking back to childhood. So don't be worried if you've got those memories coming, you know, hard and fast. That is part of us individuating, about locating who we are, what our desires are, what we really want from life, okay? So see those patterns. I'm going to pull a crow card just to have a look at those three. Oh, yeah, look, it's just fallen out. Guidance, seeking guidance from mentors, trusted advisor. It provides wisdom and perspective. Okay, so if you are stuck in a pattern, or the patterns that you see are worrisome out in the world, don't be alone, okay? Co-creation is also about co-support, all right? So there's guidance coming, and it's no surprise because we got the 8 of Wands, the 8 of inspiration, okay? They are fast messages. This guidance, it doesn't have to be someone outside yourself. If you're, you know, well along the path there, even if you're not, trust your intuition, trust your gut feeling, trust the guidance that is coming to you. If you're getting dream symbols, don't just Google it. You can if you like, but the best thing to do with symbols from dreams, or symbols that may just appear to you, synchronicities, is sit with that imagery, sit with those symbols, sit with the feelings, whatever came through in that dream, okay? Because it unpacks, it unfolds, okay? That Bardo card, that liminal space, it doesn't come with Google guidance, okay? It wants you to sit in that liminal space. It wants you to hold. I think I've said it before. Yeah, when you get, you know, if you dream of, say, a lion, or we can all jump to what that may mean, but the best way to deal with it is to hold that image, maybe put it on your wallpaper of the phone or computer you're looking at, and sit and contemplate and listen to what comes up in you, okay? There's guidance, people. There's guidance coming for us. I'm going to throw some more tarot for us. Yeah, real sense of, you know, oh, that came out in a 3. A real sense of the patterns may be changing. What you ordinarily saw before may shift, and it may leave you in a bit of a state of confusion, of fogginess, of not really grasping in the way you did. If you work within, you know, tarot, the spiritual arts, your energy workers, anyone working with, you know, what's unseen, mediumship, tarot, astrology, any kind of divination, any kind of energy work, healing work, know that these energies are shifting hugely. They're coming through, they're patterning differently. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure anyone's sure what's going on. Okay, so we got the 9 of Pentacles, 9 of materials. We've got the 8 of materials, and we've got the Knight of Voices, okay? So again, swift movement. There's some swift movement. So you may find over this period of time, if you've been used to receiving your messages in one way, be open. Be open to see them differently. They may begin to come differently. I think there's going to be some volume on spiritual messages for people, whether that comes to you through intuition, through visuals, through energetics, however you experience it, emotions, you know, bodily. There's going to be a swiftness because we've got that Knight of Voices, which is the Knight of Swords, and we've got that Eight of Wands. Okay, both of those are swiftness. So that guidance, if you're open for it, and you don't, I think the energetic I'm feeling is not to box it off, not to box it off on what is safe and what you've known before. Okay, be open to it unfolding in a different way. Okay, and the 8 and 9 of materials, yeah, this is about, you know, the 8 of materials is about mastery. It's about mastering your craft. So that can just be in the everyday, whatever craft you're doing, whatever work you're doing, but particularly with those working spiritually, okay, the way you've been used to doing your craft, the way you've been used to working with energy, with spirit, with your guides, however you work, may be changing significantly. Okay, and the nine of materials is that beautiful self-sufficiency. So it's finding that eternal child, that child who is just totally connected in with the magic of things. All right, it's a sense of independence, but it's also a sense of foresight, foreseeing. Spirit particularly asked me to get this deck out, and I don't work with this deck very often. It's a soul's journey, but I'm guessing the reason is because they're all patterns, they're all mandalas. Okay, so oh, that flew out. Okay, we have a pattern of fear here, people. You may find as things break through to you that you have this sense of fear. There is, yeah, there's a huge kind of collective fear that if you're working with spirit, you know, with spirit, with energetics, you'll be picking up on it. I know personally I felt overwhelmed with anxiety or fear that I know is not mine, but it taps into those places. So when you do get that, okay, it says on here, I realise that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. Okay, because we all know, we all experience fear. We're built like that as humans. We've got that lizard brain that you know, it's a survival mechanism. But also with the fear, we kind of block ourselves off to love. With the bardo, you know, the bardo's connected with death, as you can see. So we can have real fear there, yeah. So just, if you get those feelings of fear, locate where it is. Is it within you? Is it about an issue? We have this nostalgia. Is it something that's located within us? You know, I think a lot of us have been doing a lot of hard internal work for a lot of years, but I think the way things are moving out in the world, it's going to bring fear. And if you're not feeling that fear, if you're working with it, you're processing what's going on inside and out, you're going to be coming into contact with it. So yeah, stay in that energy of love, people. I'm going to have another one of these. I won't let this be too long, okay. Oh, there we are, look. Couldn't have been better. Hope. Okay, so we got our fear. So whenever those fears come, not just love, tap into hope, okay? It says hold on to hope during challenges and uncertainties. It fuels optimism and resilience. So yeah, we've got guidance. We can plug into love. We can plug into hope. There's a lot out in the world that, quite frankly, looks blooming hopeless. You know, a lot of darkness that we're contending with, and we cannot shut our eyes to it because it's there. Okay, it's in us, it's outside of us, and part of the work is not ignoring it, but also not allowing it to take you away into that fear. Okay, there's a beautiful balance with it. It's a lovely message, people. Pattern makers, yeah, look. This is our last message. Will-o'-the-wisp. Okay, never mind the words. It's treasures hidden in the shadows. So whenever you're seeing that shadow in the world, okay, will-o'-the-wisp, it's kind of like a spirit guide, the will-o'-the-wisp. And she comes and she whispers. She's not loud. She's about messaging again. But she doesn't keep coming back, okay? So just, because this started off as the pattern makers, the pattern seers, the pattern, you know, systemic pattern seers, I think there's something here that if the patterns you see are changing or becoming confusing or they're worrying, stay with it. And I'm speaking to myself here now because there's something going on in the spiritual that we're not quite decoding yet. There's more to come, people. There's more to come. So that's what I have for you. And I'll see you in the next one. If you want private readings, tarot readings, shadow work, soul path, or just an ordinary reading, soulsymbols.co.uk. There's an easy booking site, and there's a sliding range of prices there. All right, see you Monday with the weekly astrology. Bye bye.